This is a mini video. Hi everyone. Well, I don't know whether you can see, but we've been working on the mini over the weekend, and loads and loads of niggly little jobs that have caused me more than anything hassle to get this to the stage where we can actually nearly get it to the MOT station and get this thing legally on the road. Now Jim is out the back at the moment. He's just finishing off spraying the bonnet again, which he'd actually stripped down. And he's also taken the trunk lid off as well, and he's going to respray that as well. So Jimmy's round the back. We'll go and have a look at him in a minute doing that. But let me just run through to you the sort of things that I've been up to on the Mini, and show you the sort of problems that, if you're dealing with an old classic car like this, for example, a lot of the problems I've had to rectify have been electrical connection problems. And I'll run through them and show you in a minute. But let's have a little look around first. It's not fully finished yet, but we're nearly there. So let's show you around the Mini now. Right, let's have a look inside. As I say, it's still got to be cleaned out, but let's get in there. As you can see, we've got the dashboard fitted now. Did you want to? You got the keys there, Jimmy? So all the cables are there now for the radio. We've just got to alter this catch mechanism. We haven't found the catch, but we just tried to put one of these on temporary. But that's not too much of a problem. He's nicked my 1970s steering wheel, people. Put it straight, put the wheel straight.
I've got dusty hands, I don't want it.
This steering wheel I bought actually, because I buy old stuff, as you know, and this is a brand new steering wheel, which is new old stock, which was found in the back of a shop somewhere. And I had one of these actually on my Dolomite Sprint. I put one on my Dolomite Sprint when I had one back in the early 80s. I think it was about 1981. And I kept this, but funny enough, it is for a classic Mini anyway. So, of course, the one Jimmy had on it was a bit rubbish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got this one on, and we put this on, and it actually fits perfectly. So the clock's around, which we've literally just painted red at the moment. We was going to do that with the hydro dipping, as you know. This has still got to be polished up at the moment. This has been hydro dipped, this one, but as you know, I haven't set that up at the moment. The covering, as you know, is the vinyl covering, which we've just covered over the dashboard there, and it actually looks pretty nice. Now the biggest problem we had with this dashboard is fixing it. And the way because this is all on one sort of flat piece, and the way we did it, on the back here, you can't actually see, but on the back here, I've actually fixed a plate with a rod sticking out, and then you have a bracket, like a big C-shaped bracket, that slides with a hole in the middle, that slides over the thread, and actually clamps the top hooks on this top rail, and the bottom hooks over the bottom rail, basically. So when you tighten the nut up in the middle, the big bracket pulls the dashboard back into place. So we've got one there, we've actually got one there, and we've also got one down the other end as well. And the other problem we had as well was these vents here. They marry up onto a couple of plates behind. We had to get some flexible rods. So if we undone that ring there and pulled this out, there's a sort of a flexible hose which comes out about 3 or 4 inches that you can actually just push back into place and tighten these caps on. So yeah, that's that. Now again, we had another problem. I'll show you with the choke cable. Let's see if it starts, Jimmy. See if it starts up. It's quite loud inside. As you can see, first time starter. A little blip. Sounds quite meaty. Let's just have a look around the back of the car. Switch it off then. First time starter, we need the choke cable fitting. He's got the seats now, as you know, to clean out and all that. We found the panels at the back there. These was covered in blue Leyland, but lucky enough, when we pulled the blue Leyland off, the inside panels, or the panels at the back, was actually in very good condition, so we was able to put them back in. The door cards are going to be uprated We've got the black vinyl at the moment, which I haven't finished yet, but we're going to have to fit the door furniture there and do some other stuff with them, because they're sort of nowhere near finished yet. So inside he's got the carpet down. We haven't quite finished the carpet trim off, but all this sort of stuff is not a problem. So let's just get outside now and have a look around to the bonnet area. He's got to polish up the wheel arches, finish off polishing them off, as you know. The little jobs which I had to do was also fit the washer bottle and the motor. The carb had the choke cable which was supposed to connect up, didn't have this bracket on, so I had to weld a bracket on there so that the choke cable will actually go through there and connect up, but we need a new choke cable because that one's not long enough, so that's okay. The problems we had with the headlights as well, and after we connected them up there was problems with them. And one of the things is the headlight, if you have problems with the headlights and your connections are on at the back, just down the front of the Mini here is the main headlight connectors. And what was happening was that at the headlight we weren't actually getting 12 volts, we were getting about 7 or 8 or 9 volts, and that basically was because of the poor connections where I've just shown you down there. So I pulled the connections apart, cleaned them out with some WD-40 and some emery paper, and put the connections back, and hey presto, 12 volts, all the voltage had been restored. But that's a typical thing you get with old cars, is that bullet connectors, for example, especially in the bonnet area or externally in the car where it's not sort of inside, they can corrode and you can get problems with voltage as well. So that's what we had there, so I've actually corrected that. I put a couple of lugs on that brake failure switch there, so that's okay at the moment. We got that one sorted out, and we got it started up yesterday, as I say, and we did give it a little bit of a run round. We're also lacking 3 of the bolts that hold the manifold on. Down there we lost the nuts, so we've actually ordered 6 brand new nuts. They're brass nuts for that, so that's not a problem. And we've put on the brand new windscreen wipers. We've got brand new stainless steel arms at the end of the day. We didn't mess about with them. And also the little washer jets as well. But as you can see, he hasn't buffed all the car up yet, but I'm sure you'll see that she's got a lovely shine on the one that he has buffed up. Can you see that, how nice that is there? There we go, look, all the way along there, look, very, very nice indeed. So hopefully when all the car's finished, it will all be buffed up to that standard. So it's just got to do certain cutting back and stuff. So another problem we had as well in the boot area was on the lid. You've got the tailgate number plate light, which again when I took off that was all shorted out and broken. So I had to physically repair that as well. But going around the car, as you can see, it's at least it's all one colour now, and it's looking pretty good now. So Jim is going to be finishing this off, and let's just take a look out the back at what he's doing with the bonnet. Let's see how far he's got on with that. So let's come on in, Jimmy. Let's go and have a look. But just to have a look on the just to have a look again. The interior, as I said, has got to be cleaned up. But we've got these mini. What are these seats? Mini 30 seats. They are leather, half leather and half cloth sort of thing. So they've all got to be literally cleaned out and polished. But so once it's all cleaned up, we're at the stage now where it's pretty good. We actually took it for a quick spin yesterday, and it surprised me how pokey it was. Very, very powerful little Mini, this one, and it really did go well. One thing I did notice when I just took it for a little spin down the road was that the brakes didn't seem very good. Now I've checked the pads, and we've got plenty of meat on the pads, and as I say, the discs look in pretty good condition as well. But I possibly think it's that I'm probably used to modern brakes, and this old Mini here, as you can see, this is the master cylinder for the brakes. This one here, that's the clutch master cylinder there. But there's no servo, there's no vacuum assisted brakes on there, so that's possibly alright. The brakes are probably alright, it's just that I'm not used to them, so that's probably what that is. Yeah, look, here we are out in the garden. Just before we do anything, let's show you. I cleaned the pond out yesterday, look. You see all the fish, look. All swimming about in there, look. In fact, I think they want feeding. Look. Now you can actually see them. Look at them, how lovely, look. Yeah, let's get the fish food out, look. Let's feed them, ready? Yeah, look, they're going mad, look. Another lovely hot day here out in the garden. Absolutely fantastic. Let's just take a walk up here. Sharon's thinned out all the tomato plants, by the way, as you can see, just to give them a good chance to ripen up now. And let's just have a quick look at the sweet corn. Look, That's really tall now. I mean, that is, well, it's taller than me now, that one at the back there. But the heads have started to develop now, which is fantastic. As you can see, the bed there in the middle is nearly gone. We're going to just clear all that out and replant something down the middle there. But this isn't the garden video, by the way, but I just thought I'd show you this. And so many butterflies. Sharon found loads of caterpillars in the polytunnel yesterday, so, you know, you've got to be careful of that. And these little asters now, look at these, look. Lovely little things we've grown from seed there, look. Beautiful things. Right, here we are in the log cabin. Now, Jimmy's, again, just prepped the, he took this right back to bare metal, the bonnet, because there was some slight dents in it, and he's now sort of, on these were sort of dents in the bonnet from the manufactured dents. So they've been there all the time, but he's actually just got the curve back in again, and he's actually done a good job of that. So that's all primed now, and he's just gone over a couple of little spots there. So we're waiting for that to dry at the moment. So that's the bonnet done. One thing I will say about Jimmy is a blinking messy work. Look at the state of my blinking workshop. Look, absolutely rubbish. Everything gets left out. Look, and this is why I have trouble finding stuff. Look at this. Look, this isn't me. This is Jimmy. Look, drawers left open. Look, unbelievable. It takes me about blinking 3 hours to get this lot cleared up. Anyway, well, that's another story anyway. So yeah, that's ready to go. So as I say, over the weekend we've been very busy on the Mini, and we actually, as I said, we just give it a little quick blast yesterday. Very impressed with its performance, and there's a few little jobs we've got to do on it, as I say, but there is a slight oil leak underneath, which apparently is from the gear selector oil seal, so he's got the new kit of that to go on, and I possibly won't even bother doing that because I've got to start work on my cars. So I'm looking to possibly start work on the Triumph Acclaim again on Monday, weather permitting obviously, and I want to get that thing moving and get that out of the way so that I can get onto the other Reliant Robins and the Reliant Regal projects as well. So yeah, the Mini's coming on fine, and we're very nearly there. As I say, he's at the stage now where hopefully this week coming up the Mini project will be finished. It might have odds and ends to finish. He's got to do the final cutting back of the paintwork and buffing and polishing and cleaning up, but all the actual jobs that were holding him up have now actually been done. The car does run. It's been on a little test drive, and it's got some very good performance to it as well. Right, well, Gary's just getting some final trim done on the Escort now. Right, what we got here? What's going on, Gary?
Putting the bumper trim on.
Right, this is the self-adhesive, is it? We got double-sided tape. This goes on. So you're putting the tape on first, and you're obviously going to spray that trim black, aren't you?
Well, we've cleaned it up and it's come up alright.
Well, you just put some wire brush. What are you done it with?
We've cleared it up with some cleaning fluids.
Oh right, and it's come up alright.
It's come up alright.
Because to buy that trim is actually quite dear, isn't it?
37 quid, I think.
37 quid for that bit of trim there, see? So what's actually, what you got to do now? What's left to do?
It's MOT, getting MOT on Saturday.
So that's Saturday, next Saturday, that's a week today, yeah?
Week yesterday.
Week yesterday, so he's going on holiday, so he's just going to preparing the car now for the MOT. There's not really much I think we've got to do to it, is there?
Just a couple of bolts to change. That's about it, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's just have a little look around it. We've never been in this one, so let's go in and sit in the door. A bit of trim there, look. Just got to go back on. Right, so this is the RS Turbo. Get in the seat here. What we got there? There's the old boost gauge down there. Look, you can see that. He's got white dials. They weren't standard in this guy, was they?
No, I don't think they was, no.
So, typical 1980s Escort dash. This is the Mark IV Escort version, isn't it? And in them days, to have an onboard trip computer with something like this, never really usable. It's just basically for decoration, really. You don't even use that, do you?
No.
No one does, but that's the sign of the times. That is the old onboard trip computer. Can we start it up?
Just got to do the immobiliser.
Where's that? Oh, that's all the bells and whistles of an RS Turbo. Right, sweet sounding engine on this one. Lovely quiet engine. I don't know what that's saying. The old what's that range thing that's coming up with there, Gary?
Just saying there's not a lot of petrol in it.
Oh right, okay. Oh yeah, he's hardly got any petrol in it.
I'll just put the tenants working.
But as I say, lovely quiet engine, nice throaty exhaust sound on this one, and virtually ready for the MOT. As I say, going around the back, lovely exhaust tone this one's got, and again it's still not polished, it's still not been detailed or whatever, still final bits of flattening off to do here and there, but all in all, as you can see, all the trim's back on there, all the side skirts. As I say, it's all been sitting under the trees this side, so it's got a load of moss on it, so that's all got to be cleaned off. And there's just a couple of little marks to rub down there, and basically it's all ready for the MOT. So yeah, there we go. The Mini, as you know, Jimmy's out the back, we're still working on that. He's just now put the first coat of paint, you can turn it off now, go. He's just put the coat of paint and the lacquer on the boot lid and the trunk lid, and we're going to be having a juggle around now. So I've said to Jimmy that the Mini's now coming out, because that's road legal, once he's got the boot on and the trunk lid and the bonnet back on. That will be coming out now, and the Triumph Acclaim will be taking pride of place under the carport there, so I can start work on that. I'm hoping to start work on this on Monday. I want to get this done and prepared and get it out of the way. What I'm going to do with the Triumph Acclaim is I'm going to do all the jams, all the inside of the jams, spray all them up and inside the boot lid, and basically then get the doors, fit the doors back on, and then spray the whole body in one part. And the reason for that, I don't really want to spray them off the car if I can help it, because you've got the hassle of putting them back on and not marking them, so that's what I want to be doing there. So once I've done all the inside of the car jams, I'll be putting the doors and boot lids and everything back on, and then I'll be spraying the whole body in one piece. That saves you doing things in bits and pieces. So I'll then hopefully got to flush the engine out on this. I've still got to do that yet, and I'll be putting in spraying all the ancillary bits of the engine bay, which is still waiting to be done. But my priority, as I say, has been the Mini at the moment, as you probably know. This one's going to be the last one I work on. This is the one which I'm going to be working on to do up and possibly sell on. So this one will then take pride of place up there as well, and we'll be actually removing this one from the chassis. So we're going to actually take the whole body off of this. It's a matter of bolts underneath and then lift it off. So that'll be quite interesting, because I don't know about the chassis on this one, whether there's going to be any welding needed or whatever. So that's going to have to come right off, to say so. But that's our car after we've done the Triumph. So yeah, that's what we've been up to. We'll have a quick look outside, see what Jimmy's done. He sprayed the bonnet again, and hopefully by the end of the day that will be on the car. So let's go and have a look for Jimmy. Right, let's have a look at it. Here's the temperature in here at the moment. Look, 30 degrees. And very, very low humidity. Look, it's in the red. 28% humidity, very low, very dry heat, and obviously 30 degrees. Right, well, Jimmy's just cleaning the gun out now. Again, he's just coated up now the doors, the bonnet, the boot rather, and the bonnet has been resprayed. This had a few curvature dents around here, which is now been sorted out. So as I say, once these have dried off, it might be tonight, we might be able to loosely fit them back on the car tonight. Obviously they won't be ready for final cutting back and polishing, but as you can see, this is the final stage of the bodywork, and these hopefully should be on maybe tonight, if not it'll be tomorrow. Anyway, you happy with that? Mm-hmm. So you're just going to clean the gun out now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Make sure you stick the in.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I'm just letting you know, because it's not, you cleaned it once and it's still blinking far arsing about, isn't it?
No, it's alright.
Right. This is just a little update video on the Mini. Stay tuned, the next one you'll probably see will be the Mini finished and possibly Jimmy driving it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you do like what we do here, do rate, comment and also subscribe to our channel. Anyway, thanks very much. See you soon. Bye for now.